successfully in a second.
Mana.
Let me know whenever you see us on there.
Mana.
Okay. All right, we are live. We are live, guys. Welcome to the season premiere of Omniboslive Season 2, guys. We made it. Maybe we'll get to 100 episodes and become syndicated.
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons and a movie. 9 seasons. That's my character arc, Morty.
I still haven't seen that show.
So yeah, so this week we are I am your host today, Mr. Omnibus Collector Riley, yada yada yada. As well, we of course have Luis, Mr. Hardcover Reviews himself.
Howdy, howdy.
And everyone's favorite hound, everyone's most loved pooch, the OmniDog, Jess Bragg.
Heyo, hit him with the hind.
And today on our season 2 premiere, I'm going to figure out how to get a cool little thing on the bottom of my screen. And we're going to talk about Miss Marvel, which is a great series, and I was confused and thought that we were talking about manga this week, so I kind of didn't prepare at all.
Yeah, it's fun. You've read Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah, no, I'm caught up except for like last week's issue.
I have no clue where to go after the first hardcover.
I'm all caught up. So we'll get into that stuff eventually. First, how are you guys doing? Any big stuff happening for you guys?
Well, I went to Awesome Con on Friday and Saturday. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the pictures from that.
Yeah, I met up with an Omnisis and a couple of Omnibros, and it was really fun. Really fun. Friday was the best day because there was like 1,000 people there, and the next day there was like 10,000 people there. So Friday was the most fun day. But yeah, I got Tom King's signature. He was great. Snyder and Capullo's signature. They were great. I got a Boss sketch in a book that I didn't own. Punk Rock Jesus from Sean Murphy. He was great. And the John Layman, the writer from Chew, I got his signature. So that was good. Really good.
Really, really good.
Really, really good. We had fun. Faria and I had fun on Friday.
I'm realizing I forgot to pick a few books off of my shelf to show you guys. Okay, but yeah, I saw a lot of pictures, and you guys met a ton of people, and there was some cool collectors out there, and it's always awesome to see collectors get together and hang out. If you guys have as much fun as Jess and I did for the 2 days that we were stuck together at the waist, then I'm sure that it was a all-out blast.
Yeah. It's always fun to have a partner in crime when you do stuff.
That way you don't have to be the sad guy wandering the shelves by yourself, wondering if things are worth picking up.
That's very true.
Well, how about you, Luis? Did anything cool happen this past week?
I got to hang out with Tyler Black for a bit from Super Squad D. Really cool guy. We had a good time. We went shopping. We went looking at things. We didn't get a haircut together, unfortunately. Yeah, that's gonna be me and Jess's thing when he comes over.
Woohoo!
We're gonna get haircuts. I'm gonna get my beard trimmed or taken care of. Jess is gonna get a haircut. But aside from that, we just been chilling. We had a good time. We went to a few local shops. We found out a few things about each other that we didn't know. For example, we have the same taste in movies, and we both like sweet tarts.
Sweet tarts?
Mm-hmm.
The candy?
Oh yeah.
They still sell it?
Surprisingly enough, I didn't know that either.
Where'd you find it?
I don't know. Ask him. He was the one that brought them.
He brought you sweet tarts? He's in love.
No. He didn't bring me sweet tarts. He had sweet tarts and he offered me sweet tarts.
Okay. The story's changing now.
Yeah.
I get sweet tarts. They're not too hard to find around here.
Gosh, I haven't had those in a Long time.
But you know what I really, really like is I don't know if you guys have had the chewy sweet tarts, or like they look like Laffy Taffy, but they're sweet tart flavor.
Those are good. Those are very good.
Oh, so they're like sour Starburst?
Kind of.
Uh-huh.
But they're really good. If you ever find some, or if I find some for you at the candy shop that we went to, I'd recommend eating them.
Oh, I'm actually jonesing for that candy shop. There's a ton of great candy in that shop.
You just gotta find a good shop somewhere close to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
So for me this week, I had the fortune of being moved my location for work again, and this time I am, I think, less than a mile from my house.
Okay, well that's good. Could be worse.
So nice.
So it takes me to get to work, and I figured out the best way to do it. I cut through this parking lot, and to avoid like having to make a left-hand turn, and I can make it to work in 2 or 3 minutes tops.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So does that mean you get to sleep in a little?
I do. I'm no longer waking up at 5. I wake up at 6 now, and I don't have to leave the door until like 5 minutes before I have to be at work.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
At this branch, my boss here, as opposed to any other branch where my boss was always there like 30 minutes earlier than us, he comes in like 5 minutes after. He just rolls in. He's like, "What's up?"
That's cool.
I explained to Jess before Luis jumped in that I'm also grateful to my new manager because he organized my week, my off days, so that I would wind up having a 5-day weekend next weekend, starting on Friday, going through Tuesday for my birthday. Because if y'all don't know, my birthday's on the 4th of July, and I'm gonna go to Houston to celebrate.
Born on the 4th of July.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all that's up with me. I had the day off today, so I did some shopping. So I'm excited to show everyone what I got. But one of y'all guys go first. Show us what you got this past week.
Okay. Who wants to start?
Oh, I thought you were going to start.
Oh, okay. I got Black Panther: World of Wakanda.
Nice.
Based on Matthew Sibley's recommendation. I've read no Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates or Roxane Gay, so I'm looking forward to that. He said that I could read this without reading the previous stuff, that it would just serve as an introduction to the previous stuff, so that's cool. I got the 5th book of Giant Days, and I'm sure now that I've got all 5, they're probably already is a hardcover being promoted for it, I bet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
You're still safe.
Then I got, just because I like the sound of it, I have no idea if it's any good or not, I got Rebirth Trinity, because I like all 3 characters.
And it has fantastic art.
Yeah, right. Maniple, does he draw in it or just write it? He writes it?
Yeah, he's the writer and the artist.
Jeez. I hate guys that are that talented. Then I got volume 3 of the Subject Tonight, Ms. Marvel, which I have not read. I read the first 2. And I'm glad that I got it because volume 2 ended on a cliffhanger, and so I'm hoping that this volume solves it. And then I got Bendis Crime Noir Omnibus. That's my big book for this is one big book, and it's all in black and white, so that's cool. So that's what I got.
Nice.
It's a good week.
Yeah.
I'll go. So I picked up 2 books this week. Actually, they came in today. I got the first volume of My Hero Academia. After hearing so much praise from a whole bunch of fans and a whole bunch of manga readers, I figured this would be good and I could do a review of it. Plus, it's a manga that really hasn't been around too long, if it's my understanding. I think there's only like 9 volumes out so far, or something like that. I know you've talked about it before, Riley.
Let me check.
Really looking forward to diving into this. This looks really fun.
There's 8 volumes right now in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. I've heard really great things about it. Have no clue what it's about. I'm actually blind going into this. I remember you mentioning something about it in the past, but that was a while ago. But I'm super, super excited to dive into this. I know I've got a few friends that have been watching the anime, and they've been religiously watching it, and they've fallen in love with it, and they recommend the anime. So I figured, let me give Volume 1 a shot. It was on sale for like $8. I give Volume 2 for like $6, which I'll probably end up ordering right after, right in the middle of this episode. So looking forward to reading this, and it has a person advertising milk in the back. Lady hair. No, that's lady hair. Okay, so good stuff.
It's always fun to order books right in the middle of one of our vids.
Oh, it happens. And I've got the final volume of Goon finally in my possession. I love the Goon. I love Goon. This is the final library edition. This concludes the Goon series. I've read the entire series up until actually the last trade in trade paperbacks, but that's when they announced the hardcovers, and I sold all my trades, and I went and upgraded the hardcover, so I have no clue how this series ends. I'm probably just going to end up skipping to the last trade and then rereading the series, because I'm really, really excited to see how this bad boy wraps up.
Those are such nice books.
Oh, they are fantastic. Outside of the Hellboy library editions and maybe in the Sandmans and the pre-trap salutes, these are probably right up there, some of the best collected editions there are on the stands right now. And I would also put the Lazarus hardcovers up there simply because of the special features.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, and Punk Rock Jesus hardcover as well.
Yeah, I noticed that you told me about that, and I looked, and a solid third of that book is extras.
Oh, yeah, there's almost more extras in the Punk Rock Jesus book than the actual book.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Basically, if you've ever wanted to learn how to make a comic, Sean Murphy takes you through that entire process in the back of the special features of the Punk Rock Jesus hardcover. So looking forward to wrapping this up and seeing what happens to Goon involving the zombie priest and Frankie. Things were pretty grim the last time that we left off. When I was reading the series, it was looking really, really bad for Goon. So we'll see how it wraps up. And yeah, Eric Powell got into a fight this week at a con too.
That's what I heard. We need to find out more about that.
Somebody in the group was there at the con when it happened.
Frank Gogol was.
Yeah.
I should text him and find out. I'm reasonably decent friends with him, so I should give him a PM and see what he has to say, because he was on the panel when it happened. I'd like to hear more about that. It's such a wacky circumstance.
Yeah, it was crazy. Somebody threw a shoe at the artist of Hillbilly or something like that, and it just got out of hand from there.
Well,
did you hear about this?
I think I heard something briefly, but I didn't know that he was involved with it. I didn't know that Eric Powell was involved.
He was at the panel when it happened, and he saw the whole thing go down. The guy threw a shoe, hit the artist of Hillbilly. The guy from the artist of Hillbilly stands up and says, "Bring it on, you little bitch." And he then proceeds to almost kill the kid that threw the shoe. He ends up taking a swing. He misses the person that threw the shoe and hits another guy. And he just went downhill from there.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll talk about what I bought this week.
Did it involve getting a shoe thrown at you?
Just quite the segue, I guess. Realized that we didn't do this last week, and I wasn't on the show the week before, so I actually have a crap ton of stuff that I can show. I'm not going to show everything, and I'm not going to talk too in depth either. But I'm just looking at my IST history real quick so I can actually mention. So the week that I was off of the show, I forget why. I think I was just really tired. I got Batman New Gotham by Greg Rucka, Suicide Squad Volume 6, The Phoenix Gambit by John Ostrander, Hellblazer Volume 16, The Wild Card, which let me see who's writing on that one. that brings us into Mike Carey's run. So we're going pretty far right now. And then Spider-Man by Todd DeZago and Mike Wieringo. And then last week, had we talked about what we bought, I would have talked about one of my bigger orders in a while. I too got Goon Library Edition Volume 5. As well, I picked up another Batman book. This is Batman 0 Hour, which collects a bunch of tie-in issues for 0 Hour from all the different Batman series. And then I got the second... Wait, this is Darth Vader. I meant to grab the second hardcover of Star Wars, but I grabbed Darth Vader instead. So I'll just drop that. Spider-Man by Michelini and Larson. So this is a follow-up basically to the Michelini and McFarlane book. It is missing a little bit of material. There's some crossover stories in here that it only collects like every third part or something. But I'm not terribly bothered by that because I bought it mostly just for the artwork. Well, for the artwork and the story, but I definitely bought it for the artwork. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu Volume 2, which is the penultimate of the Kung Fu Omnis. So now all we're waiting on is Shang-Chi Volume 4, and everything will be done. And I feel like I need to get some sort of Shang-Chi bust or statue to go alongside those books just to decorate my shelves.
Oh, that's a good
And then
idea.
the last book... What?
It's a good idea to get like an action figure
right?
of Shang-Chi.
I found on eBay, just to mention real quick, there is a Shang-Chi bust out there. I just don't have enough to buy it right now. Let me see. Yeah, there's a. It's not that expensive either. The first article or the first listing is for $40, so it's not the most expensive bust ever. It's probably not the biggest one ever either. There's another, or is this the same one? I don't know. It looks pretty decent. It'd go very well on the shelf. And then the last thing I got from that order was one that I showed off on the group a little bit because it was blind buy. Too Much Coffee Man Omnibus Plus edition.
I gotta get that. Damn it, I forgot.
Look how huge this fucker is, and I got it for $16.
That's a good buy.
Yeah, that's mostly why I bought it, was because it was so cheap. It's 600 pages, so it's got really, really thick pages, but it was a completely blind buy. I've never read any of this. I've never read anything from Shannon Wheeler, but it's touted as a, like, kind of just... I don't know how to explain what...
I've read it before. He's got a really dry sense of humor, and there's social commentary in there too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, is like some sort of social commentary comic, and that's something that I'm into particularly. So I was like, this is perfect for me. When I get the chance to read it, actually, to me, it looks like the type of book that I would have on my toilet.
How long did that take? 15 minutes to get to the toilet.
So that's all from last week, and now I'll start my stack from this past week. So I ordered a box from In Stock Trades, and then I also went to 2 different half-price books locations, ordered a couple of things off of Amazon, and I went to the comic book shop that has half-priced books as well. So most of these things I got for really cheap. So first is Hellsing Volume 10. I love this manga series. I never bought the last 2 volumes, but I've read them online. So I finally went online to see about, like, I might as well just buy the whole, the last couple volumes to complete the set, except the last 2 volumes were way expensive. I know Volume 9 was like $30 or $40. I don't remember how much Volume 10 was, but I got it for like $6 or $7. So whatever it was online, I'm pretty sure I got it for less, and that's a good thing. And then, kind of on a whim because it was cheap, and I've heard of it, was Crying Freeman Volume 1. This is written by Kazuo Koike, who's the writer of Samurai Executioner and Lone Wolf and Cub. I've never read this series, but all 5 volumes are relatively easy to get, and it's nice and thick, and the artwork is just... Let me make sure I get to a scene that's not full of nudity.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of it.
So it's got pretty nice classic-looking artwork for manga. It actually looks like, if anyone's ever read Cromartie High School. The artwork looks very similar to that, and I don't think it's the same artist at all. He's probably just trying to mimic that. And then the last manga that I got was the first omnibus of Blade of the Immortal. Another one that I've never read before, but I've heard good things. I figured I'd go ahead and try it out, and if I like it, I'll just continue buying these new omnibus editions. Got some pretty neat looking artwork, and I do enjoy samurai type stories, so something that I will dig. Let's see. The next book here is a XMen paperback that I've had so many people tell me that this miniseries was great, and I decided to buy it because it was only like $4 online, and that is X Club by Simon Spurrier. So this Spurrier, of course, wrote the Legion series that recently people were reading because it came out in Omnibus, and it's really great. He also wrote a X-Force run that I really enjoyed, and this was like one of the only things of his, the only X-Men related thing of his that I know I haven't read, so I bought it. I think it's going to be worth it for $4, considering all the good stuff that I've heard. The next one, and this, I told Jess that I bought something that I know he's going to want to buy after I show it, and this is not that book, but this is one that you might wind up wanting anyway, and that's Longshot Saves the Marvel Universe.
Ooh, Longshot.
And this is written by Chris Hastings, who I believe is the writer on Gwenpool.
Yeah, I got it. I forgot. I got his autograph at Awesome Con also.
Nice.
He signed this pop.
Oh, nice. So I got that because I enjoy the character, and I enjoy Chris Hastings' writing on Gwenpool, and I figured those two things should add up to something pretty good. So I went ahead and grabbed it because it was cheap. This next one is another one I grabbed today at Half Price Books. It's a Hulk book that I've been meaning to pick up for a while, The Incredible Hulk, House of M. I think that online it was going for considerably over cover price, maybe at least $20 online or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked for it, but I found it for like $6, so I figured I've never seen it that cheap, or at least not for a while.
Is that the only way that book? Is that the only way that book is collected? It's not collected in anything else.
It's also collected in the House of M hardcover, along with like Iron Man and Wolverine or something like that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't have that hardcover.
Right.
And I just wanted to get that paperback because it goes in with all my other Hulk stuff. All I need is Tempest Fugit, and I'll have like a solid run from the beginning of Bruce Jones all the way to the end of what's it called, Greg Pak. So I'm looking for that one. Another half price find was Moon Knight Volume 2, Dead Will Rise. This is from Brian Wood and Greg Smallwood. Greg Smallwood, of course, does the artwork of the current Lemire series. This does not stand up nearly as much as the Warren Ellis stuff. It does still have some nice artwork, though. But I rather enjoyed it. I continued reading the series after Ellis read all the way through, and I enjoyed both Wood and Bunn's arcs. I also found at Half Price Books The Hulk by Mark Waid and Mark Bagley, Banner DOA. This is the first volume of the adjectiveless Hulk series that Mark Waid started after Indestructible. Marvel's releasing a complete collection of Indestructible, so I figured I might as well grab this to go along with it. I did enjoy this series while he was writing it, and I also wound up enjoying it while Jerry Dugan took over. And he did the whole Doc Green thing, which was like a smart Hulk that was trying to eliminate all of the other Gamma characters. The last half price find that I have is the one that I'm pretty sure you're about to order, Jess. And that's, if you don't have it, Elektra by W. Hayden Blackman with artwork by Mike Del Mundo.
This is what you've been waiting to bait me with?
Yes. Do you have this one?
No.
Okay, let me show you why you're about to buy it.
This is like a 12-issue series, right? There was 2 trades.
Yeah, there's 2 trades.
I have that. I've just never read it. The art is gorgeous.
So yeah, this artwork is
Look at that.
phenomenal. This is, and it's Mike Del Mundo. So you're familiar with him from the covers of Legion, and you've probably read him in other places as well. This series just stood out immensely for him. I just absolutely freaking love the artwork in here.
Wow.
It's stunning stuff. It's gorgeous.
You've read it, Luis?
No, I have the 2 trades sitting on my shelf. I just haven't gotten to it, but it was one of those series that flew under everybody's radar when it was coming out, but everybody was praising the art so much.
Mm.
The story's good too. It's basically just, in a nutshell, it's Elektra versus other assassins. And
Are they out of print now, or are they still in print?
They're, as far as I know, they're still in print. That one was actually remaindered. It has a remainder mark on the bottom. So that told me that I should probably pick a copy up because it might wind up going out of print. I don't know.
Oh.
But when I saw, and it was, when something is remaindered at half price books, they lower it even more than half price. So I got it for like 65% off. So it was like $5 or $6, and I was super stoked to find it because I was like, God damn, that series was beautiful.
And what's it called again? Elektra?
It's just called Elektra. The subtitle for this volume is Bloodlines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it might have been 10, 11, or 12 issues long, but it has 2 trade paperbacks. I'm going to have to get the second one pretty soon. But the story is really good. The artwork is just phenomenal. And if you do grab it and you do wind up liking what you see in there, I also recommend, and I'm probably going to wind up hunting these down soon. Not really hunting because they're still available, but his Mike Del Mundo did the artwork for Weird World, and that series was amazing.
Oh yeah, I've heard you talk about it before.
It had artwork from him, and then the first Weird World was written by Jason Aaron, and then the second one was written by Sam Humphries. The first one was just amazing. The second one was okay, but the first one is just incredible. It's a Secret Wars tie-in.
Right.
Then 2 more paperbacks. I've got Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 17. This is Kraven's Last Hunt. I went ahead and sold off my hardcover collection and got the paperback. It has a lot more extra material in it, and this comes before. If you have Spider-Man Life in the Mad Dog Ward, this comes before that, and that volume goes right before the Todd McFarlane Michelini book. And they've also released, this is volume 17. They've also released volume 15 of the epics, which is Goes to the Past. So volume 16 is not out yet, but hopefully they release it soon to fill in that little gap, because that's going to fill in a nice hole of, there'll be a nice solid line of collected editions for Spider-Man from like the Stern stuff all the way through to the Larson volume that I showed off. There might be more too. I just don't have everything. I'm not as complete with Spider-Man as I am with my X-Men stuff. And then I got Spider-Man Brand New Day Volume 3. This one collects 578 through 591, as well as some other stuff. I'm thinking there's going to be 2 more volumes of Brand New Day, and then hopefully they do a couple of volumes for the the Gauntlet. And then I got a hardcover for half off at the comic shop that I go to. Blood Ties, it's a X-Men Avengers crossover that fills in a tiny gap that I've not filled in my X-Men collection. And then finally, last but not least, I did also get the Crime Noir Omnibus with all the nice black and white artwork. And as far as I've heard, this is meant to be like the best of Bendis. So I'm pretty pumped to check it out. And that's everything for me from the past 3 weeks.
Damn.
Holy smoke. You made a score after score at Half Price Books.
There was so much more stuff I wanted to get to. I just didn't have enough, but like there was a bunch of other little trades and stuff like that that I wanted to fill in my collection. But like I said, I didn't have the funds on me at the moment.
Did you ever pick up that book you were letting sit at when you and I went to Half Price Books, and I grabbed a book and I said, "Oh, I got to get this." And there was a book that you wanted, and you said, "Oh, I'm going to wait till they mark it down further." And it was out of print, and I said, "Dude, you should get it." And you said, "No, I'm going to wait."
I know what you're talking about. I haven't gotten it yet, and I also haven't checked that store since we went to see if it's still there.
Okay.
They are having their annual, or not annual, like seasonal discount week, where at the end of the week, I think the day is going to be like July 15th or something. They're going to have an extra 50% off coupon. So that's the day that I'm probably going to go to that location and see if it's still there.
Mm. Okay. Well, we won't talk about the location or the book, but you'll have to keep me posted. I was shocked that you left it there.
The location is San Antonio, and the book is The Question, Volume 1. which would still be a good find, but you know. So you guys, have you read anything this past week? I'm still just working on Berserk. I'm on volume 28, almost done with this one right now. So nothing new to say about that, but if you guys have anything to talk about, please feel free to go into that real quick.
I'll go first. Since
Okay.
I've got only like one thing that I'm reading right now. I finished the Essex County. Dug the hell out of it. Really, really good stuff. It's probably, I would say I liked Jeff Lemire's Animal Man a little bit more, but that's because I'm a sucker for tights. But Essex County is such a tight little book. It's a really quick read. You look at it and you think, oh, this thing is massive, but it's actually a really quick read. It's really interesting to see because that's one of Lemire's first works, and his style really wasn't as refined as it is now. It was, I would say, even a bit more looser than what it is now, but really good stuff. Very heart-touching. There was a chapter in the middle, because it's divided. Essex County, for those of you that have never read it, it's basically set in Canada in this small town, and it's divided into 3 stories, and each one of these three stories overlap and kind of cross over at the last story. The first one involving a little kid was really good. I think it was as amazing as people made it out to be, with this little kid who he's left with his uncle and he's kind of learning how to become a man and things like that. It's a really interesting story. The second one was the one that out of the 3 really blew me away, where it was, okay, so the second one involves a man who is at the end of his life, and he is kind of suffering from early stages of Alzheimer's, and his memory's not exactly where it is. It's starting to forget things, and you're flashing back, and you get to see this man's life and what hockey meant to him, and these big events that happened to him, and the relationship that he ended up losing with his brother, and what caused the relationship to fall apart. A very powerful and very moving story. And I really like the fact that you see kind of that dichotomy and that difference of, here's somebody at the beginning of their life learning to discover what is a man. Here's somebody at the end of their life kind of looking back on it and going, wow, I really wish this situation would have been handled better. I kind of hated that. That was really poor choice if this happened instead of this. Really moving stuff. The third one is a story involving a nursing home lady that is caretaker of the old man. And, well, I won't give anything else away, but it's suffice to say it's a really, really phenomenal read, and I dug the absolute hell out of it. Really looking forward to reviewing that one. Also, I'm about 3-4 issues away from finishing up Legion. I'm really slow on that one, but absolutely digging the hell out of that. It's really cool to see Legion, because he is Charles Xavier's son, kind of go, yeah, Charles Xavier's great, his philosophy is great, but at the same time, hello? Am I there? Okay. Thought I lost you guys for a second. It's really cool to see Charles Xavier's son, who he has an interesting outlook on his philosophy, where Charles Xavier was more, let's wait for things to happen in order to act upon them. Legion is more, he's more headstrong. He's more, no, we don't wait for things to happen. We tackle them head on. And he's going about and kind of fixing little solutions and things like that. There was a little twist in the middle of it that I actually did not see coming, in regards to the quote-unquote like mutant cure and who's administering it, that I was like, wow, this was really creative, and I totally didn't see that coming. Fans of Rick Remender's Uncanny Avengers will really appreciate that. I won't say anything else. I don't want to give anything else away, but really good series. And that's about it as far as what I'm reading.
What I read this week, I read Dead Man, Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love, because I couldn't resist that title. I love Dead Man. I grew up in the 70s reading Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. It's by Sarah Vaughan with art by Lan Medina, and the art is really, really good. And it deals with a woman who's in a haunted house. Dead man goes into the haunted house and is trapped in there and can't figure out why he can't get out of the house. And it has to deal with this woman and her husband and all the shenanigans that are going on in there. It was really good. I dug it. And I'm holding up this panel because this is the first time I've ever seen in comics. She refers to her friend Sam. Sam would love this. And Deadman says, why'd you send her away then? And she says, Sam uses they, them pronouns. They're non-binary, not a woman or a man, just awesome. And Sam is pictured as, I don't know, woman, man. I don't know. She's non-binary. They go by they. Which is kind of a confusing pronoun. We need to come up with something better. But I thought it was an interesting use of character. It's just a little blip in the book, but I thought that was fairly interesting that they dropped that in there. She does have something to do with that character. It is important to the story. It's not just in there for the hell of it. Then I read the first volume of A-Force. I know this came out a while ago, and I probably should have read the Secret Wars stuff that led into it, which I will do on Marvel Unlimited, because weren't there like 40 books released for Secret Wars, all those Weird World books and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really, really like this a lot. I have the second volume I need to read, but I'd like to read what leads into it because I really dig all these strong, powerful chicks that are in it. And then I read volumes 1 and 2 of the subject matter tonight, Ms. Marvel. And it was, of course, you'll find out how I feel about it when we talk about it. But since I'm the one that suggested the topic, you probably already know what my feelings are on it. It was awesome. Not to give anything away.
In that case, I guess if y'all want, we can just go right into it.
What are we talking about again? No, I'm kidding. No, seriously, what are we talking about?
We're talking about
I'm kidding.
Jess's affinity for female-driven books.
I think we need to know what is Jess's favorite root beer brand. He is the root beer float king, so we need to know the favorite brand.
My favorite brand is Dominion. It's made in Virginia. Yeah, it's made in Virginia by Dominion Brewery. They have a Dominion. I don't know how extensive their beer line is, but they're a brewery here in Virginia, and it's a very popular beer. But they make root beer with honey, and it is spectacularly great. I love it. It's my fave. I get one every time. What's that?
Do they ship root beer out, and do they have it in stores here?
That's a good question. You taste this, and it's so smooth and so delightful that it's not sharp at all. It's really smooth, and it's almost as smooth as Gio is. Oh, hey, Gio.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? I am so happy to be here. Yeah, no, nothing. I don't want to break up the whole discussion here. I just wanted to say hi. I am very excited that we're in a new channel, and yeah, just wanted to drop by and say hi. That's it.
Love you, Gio.
Laters. Bye-bye.
Oh, stay.
You're leaving already?
Yeah, no. I want to hear. I'm a spectator. I want to hear what you guys are talking about.
Oh, come on.
Okay, well, we'll talk about you.
Even better. I just want to say real quick. I didn't get any books because I've been getting Build-A-Figure figures for toys, and I've been getting what else did I get? Anyways, I did not read any books as well, but I wanted to say that Miss Marvel's awesome, and she is this generation's Peter Parker, and I think every kid should read Miss Marvel because, yeah, it's great. Plus, she has at her disposal the best dog in comic books, which is Lockjaw.
Second best dog. Gio-A.
That's it. That's it for me. Thank you. That's my participation. Continue, Omnibros.
Drops in and drops a bomb.
One last thing. If you guys have seen the trailer that was put up for this channel, you have Gio to thank for that. Thanks again.
The trailer was awesome.
Great job.
No problem. I was happy to do it.
My wife thought it was really cool. She was laughing.
Oh, I gotta show that to my wife.
You know, I tried to do something fun for you guys, but I will do more in the future. I plan to do an uncensored version with foul language and all that cool stuff that the kids like.
So, you know, it's funny. There's the three of us doing this show, but Gio and Gabe were the impetus behind creating the Omnibros channel. It's really sort of their baby that they did. Yay. So props to Gio and Gabe for coming up with this idea and really promoting and putting in the time and effort to it.
No problem.
I didn't do a goddamn thing.
I like doing this stuff. I like supporting people and helping others. So it's fun for me. It's kind of therapeutic in a way. So I like it. Don't worry about it. All right, I'm out for real time. Bye.
Later.
Okay.
Where were we?
We're just finishing up about root beer.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm looking at
Dominion root beer.
It doesn't seem like there's any Dominion beer in my area. Which is very. Ooh, wait! I think I could order it off Amazon. They ship it to the UK, but not to the US. What kind of crap is that?
Dominion root beer?
Yeah.
You must be on the Amazon UK channel.
No, I just did a Google search.
Wait a minute.
Does Dominion root beer have a deer on the front of it?
Let me look. A deer. It might. I can't think of what their coat of arms is.
Oh, they don't ship it in the US, Jess.
Made in the US, not shipped in the US.
They'll ship it to Ryan Sace.
Yeah, they don't even like it over there.
Oh my god.
Huh. I don't see it on Amazon, so you got something that I can't
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just when you come over and visit me, I want a 6-pack of that.
Okay. That's a done deal.
I'll pay for it, don't worry.
No, I'm not gonna have you pay for it. Here's Root Beer of the Month Club, 12 months for $400.
That sounds like a bargain to me.
$400 by the Root Beer store.
How much root beer do you get out of that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I'll click on it and see.
1 bottle a month.
Yeah, right.
And the first bottle is A&W.
Right. The root beer store. Let's see. 6 different bottles each month. 72 different over the year. 72 divided by into $400 is what? $100 a bottle? My math might not be right.
I don't know. I'll tell you who's good at math, though. Tyler is amazing at math. He was doing percentages in his head like the other day when we were talking. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Let's see. 72 goes into 400. Actually,
calculator. Anybody?
72. If it's $1 a bottle, it'd be $72. So it's about $5 a bottle. That sounds like a lot to me. Yeah, but I'm not seeing Dominion on here.
No, they only ship to the UK apparently. I don't get it.
that's some doo-doo.
Yeah. I'm not even finding Dominion here, so well, I will definitely bring it down when I come down to visit.
About $4 a bottle, Jess.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Have you ever paid $4 a bottle for a root beer?
Not for root beer.
There was that bottle that you got out here that was like $6.
Oh yeah, that's right. It came in the fancy jug. It was like Virgil's special edition Bavarian nutmeg root beer or something.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's special edition.
Yeah, it came with one of those kind of hingy pop tops. Yeah, that's right. Where did we get that? I forget.
Is that the comic shop, the little toy store that's connected to it?
Oh wow. I forgot about that. Yeah, I have spent $6 on root beer before. Everybody has a better memory than I do about my life.
I spent $3 on endless root beers at Red Robin the other day.
I gotta go there. That sounds fantastic.
Oh God!
And they just kept bringing the ice cream too?
Yeah, as much as you can handle, man.
They would lose money on me. I'd drink $50 worth of root beer floats there.
Yeah, it's all you can drink root beer floats at Red Robin for like $3. They were delicious.
Oh, sounds awesome.
And endless fries. I didn't know they had endless fries.
Oh, endless fries too?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, am I backwards that you guys are seeing?
No.
Now I'm back.
I don't think so.
Okay, I think I was backwards for a little bit.
Where were we? Oh, that's right.
Our topic.
It's Marvel.
So yeah, this is how we go off topic all the time. Yeah, we're about to start on actually talking about what we're talking about this week, which is Miss Marvel, which I've got the omnibus here in front of me, which collects the entire first Kamala Kahn series. I guess I'll do a little introduction. I'll let you guys talk. I know Jess sounds like he has a lot that he wants to talk about. So Miss Marvel, this series started in 2014, and it came out of the fact that Carol Danvers had gotten a promotion to Captain Marvel. And with that, her title was kind of open. And a little bit after her little promotion, it was announced that Marvel would be launching a new Miss Marvel series with a brand new character, which of course was Kamala Kahn. Kamala being one of the very few Muslim superheroes and very, very few female Muslim superheroes, the only one that I can ever name off the top of my head myself, that's out there, and especially to be the lead character in a book, that's a really big thing right there. The book, the first volume went for 19 issues, and it ended right before Secret Wars. And then after Secret Wars, they started up a second series, which is still ongoing, with over 20 issues. The third oversized hardcover has been released just recently. That's the one that Jess got in the mail. That collects the first part of the second ongoing series for her. She's written by G. Willow Wilson, who is a Muslim writer. So you get that little input from her. And then the artwork is mostly by either Adrian Alfona or sometimes Takeshi Miyazawa, who both artists worked on Runaways. So if you read this book and you feel that it has somewhat of the same feeling as Runaways, that would be why. Like Gio said earlier when he came in to say hi, Miss Marvel is this generation's Peter Parker. She's set up very much in that same way. She's, a young kid in high school that gives you a great look at what it's like to be a kid in this generation. And it's a fantastic book that, like he said, is definitely recommended to any young readers that are out there. And Marvel has handled her spectacularly by not trying to shove her into every event that they can possibly put her into. Her book has stayed pretty much on its own throughout the entirety of its run. She has appeared along the Avengers and stuff. She appeared in Mark Waid's Avengers book and as well is in Mark Waid's Champions book right now. So she's making her rounds and getting more involved in the Marvel universe, and I think she's also part of the current Secret Warriors book by Matthew Rosenbaum or Rosenberg or whatever it is, which has been actually pretty good itself. So that's just my introduction for y'all for Miss Marvel. Now, you guys, if you guys want to start talking about it, go right ahead.
Well, that was a good introduction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll go.
Sure.
Just a shout out to Matt Miranda. Thanks for the pop, dude. I love the Miss Marvel pop.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
You hooked me up. But as you can see, I am a huge fan of Kamala Kahn. I think she is like many people that they first read and they first are introduced to her. I think she is most definitely this generation's Peter Parker. It kind of seems like they're finally letting Peter grow up a little bit more, which I'm all for. We know we had that incident a few years ago where they nullified the marriage and all that other stuff, but it seems like they're like, okay, we've got Miles, we've got Kamala, we've got people that kind of fit that slot of Peter in, and now they're letting him grow up. Kamala Kahn is phenomenal. G. Willow Wilson writes the hell out of this book. She is extremely, extremely talented. I know there were a lot of people that were crying diversity for diversity's sake when the book was first announced because of the title Miss Marvel and things like that. I'm more of a person where let's just let it play out. Let's see if this is something that is going to end up really well, or let's see if it's something that they just end up trying to shoehorn and it falls to the wayside and it really doesn't end up working out because of it. Really, time will tell for that stuff. This is a book, though, that we have seen it over the past few years, not only just become the Peter Parker for a new generation of readers, but you go to a con now and you see people of all different ethnicities, namely of Islamic faith, that they dress up in this character. They finally have a character in the MCU that they can look up to, a character that means a lot. Not only that, but her appearance has been placed and infected a lot of pop culture for the better. There were people, I believe, and I always get this news story wrong, a few years ago that there was graffiti on I believe it was a bus or a wall or something like that for Kamala Kahn. That it was a representation and she was kind of, a positive figure and a positive influence for a lot of people. Not only that, but it's just a damn good read. It's a fun story. It's a fun coming-of-age story, and she's instantly relatable to a lot of us growing up. I mean, a lot of us, we are dorks, we are nerds, and she fits the time. She writes fan fiction. She loves video games. She works with her parents. She's basically, G. Willow Wilson took that Peter Parker formula of the person trying to balance out work, family life, trying to balance out dating. What does it mean to date inside of an Islamic family? You are also getting an examination of what does it mean to be modern day person who is of the Islamic faith and lives with a family in the United States. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not that good. I think just an absolutely phenomenal series that she continues to kill it. And like you said, Riley, it's great that they have used her in events and used her in team-up books sparingly, because I think it could have been one of those things where Marvel would just would have seen it like we've seen in the past, and they go, okay, well, we'll just throw Miss Marvel into everything. She'll be in Daredevil, or she'll be, partnering up with, I don't know, something dumb. But just, it's a great, great series that I recommend it if you haven't checked it out. And it's a great all ages series. You can give it to your kids.
That was excellent, and I love thinking of her as this generation's Peter Parker. The only thing better than the Kamala Kahn pop is the Kamala Kahn action figure with her embiggened hand here, as you can see right there. This is an awesome action figure that I love. And I love the fact that she uses the word embiggen to make herself bigger. That's a shout out to The Simpsons. It's a perfectly cromulent word. So I love embiggen that she uses that. Sherlock Alexi will also appreciates that since he's such a huge Simpsons fan. absolutely adore this book. I have it right here so I can show some of it while we're looking at it. And I have not read The Runaways, so I'm not familiar with the artwork. I know I'm a bad person for not having read The Runaways. I will put it at the top of my list because apparently I'm missing everything, especially since it's Brian K. Vaughan. But I totally, I can't really add anything to what, oh yeah, I forgot. She partners up with Wolverine in this first book. That's really funny. He's drawn really kind of funny. But I loved everything about it because it's not forced. It's a very organically written book. And as Luis said, it talks about a Pakistani family, traditional Pakistani family here in the U.S. trying to adapt. Here you've got their 16-year-old daughter who all of a sudden gets exposed to the Terrigen mists and becomes an Inhuman. Sorry if I spoiled that for anybody. She's not a mutant. She's an Inhuman. And that's how it features the second greatest dog in comics, Lockjaw. And it doesn't pass the sniff test as far as PC goes because of how organically well it's written. It's fully fleshed out that the family life and family troubles are very American immigrant, true to life. And she's got those, as you said, the sort of Peter Parker worries about high school and boys, and she worships Captain Marvel, and she is sort of a single. She doesn't have a boyfriend because she can't date outside the family, as Luis said. And it shows the kind of growing pains that she goes through, and then she gets imbued with these powers and uses them for good. And I think that the quote unquote bad guys that are introduced are very interesting and not overwrought. They kind of made sense. They're her level of bad guys. It's not like she's dealing with Thanos or anybody like that. She's dealing with some evil, but it's stuff that she can handle because she can embiggen and flatten out and get tiny, change features. She can heal herself. So it doesn't feel forced at all to me. It feels like it slots right into the Marvel universe really nicely, and I can't imagine anybody not liking this book because it's so well written and so well drawn that you feel immediately comfortable with her and her family and everything she goes through. You feel immediately comfortable with her. It's not like you have to get used to her. You like her right away. She's very likable, and she goes through troubles that we can all relate to. I'll bet it was 40 years ago that I had to go through those troubles, and I didn't have superpowers, but I can still relate to, having a curfew and things like that, mostly because I had a teenage daughter more recently than I was a teenager. But I can't say enough about that book, and I love the fact that it was written by a Muslim woman who just obviously poured her heart out into this character and wrote it as true to life as she could. As you said, it's a great all ages book. There's nothing in it. One question I did have, because I read this book today, I read the second one today once I found out we were doing Ms. Marvel as a topic, is that Captain Marvel is portrayed in like gray. Is that her new outfit? Is she not colorful, or did they just gray her down to sort of fit in the background? Do you know it all?
That was story specific. Like in that era, she wound up getting a gray costume, but I'm pretty sure she's back to having the colors again.
The colors, okay. Because I just wondered about it. I knew all kinds of things were happening in the Marvel universe around this, so I didn't know why she had a gray uniform.
I think that was a Kelly Sue DeConnick's run that dealt with that, right?
It was.
Is that right?
It was after that because KSD ended her run before Secret Wars. She actually did a Secret Wars miniseries, and the book that Jess, if I'm not mistaken, you're looking at the 3rd volume.
The 2nd volume.
Oh, you're looking at the 2nd one. Then it could have been on Kelly Sue's.
I don't know. I tried reading that and I couldn't. I don't like her writing.
Oh, KSD's you don't?
I'm not a fan.
I like her. I did not like her Captain Marvel for the most part. I thought it was good, but the praise that it was getting was a lot more than what I thought that it should have had.
Mm.
And then when Miss Marvel came out, I was like, this is as good as I thought that Captain Marvel was about to be.
I felt the same way. I tried reading it and I was like, I don't see the hype. For me, then I've never read anything by Kelly Sue that I've thought, wow, she's a great writer. I think she's pretty mediocre at best.
I really like Pretty Deadly.
Could not get into it.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
That's what makes the world go round. Yours and my opposing viewpoints.
Yes, sir.
And it costs you to lose a bet about Wonder Woman. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm working.
Hey, so how was how's Thor with the codpiece?
It's pretty terrible. I'm not that far into it yet. It's pretty terrible. It's like what I don't like the art. That's all.
Is the story any good?
The 5 pages that I've read, not really.
Dude, you're supposed to do a review.
No, I know.
You haven't even gotten to the
painful, Jess. It's so painful.
You're not even with the codpiece yet. He doesn't even have it until like the end of it.
I know.
What's he wearing now? Like a kilt?
I'm pretty sure it's just pretty much normal costume.
Yeah, but the art is pretty terrible.
Oh, man. This is great. I couldn't have asked for a better bet. I really couldn't have. You're just twisting in the wind. It's so awesome.
It's so bad. You know, but every time I try it, I look at my shelf and I'm like, yeah, but I could be reading that.
Yeah.
I could be reading Red Hood and the Outlaws.
That's what I was close to reading. But I love this one scene where the end of the world is coming, and they all decide to dance. I just thought that was great, how they're doing like a Bollywood type of dance, even though that's India and she's from Pakistan. I just love that. How it just seemed really real. Even though we're dealing with superheroes, the humanity part, the human part of it just seems really real. The mom and dad and the brother and the friends and her sticking out like a sore thumb in high school with her friend that has the covered head. I don't know. It seemed like one of the most real superhero books I've ever read.
She also had, in my opinion, one of the best superhero team-ups inside of this omnibus that I've read in a while, where she teams up with Wolverine, who had just recently lost his healing factor.
I didn't hear that. Teams up with Wolverine?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh, it's okay. She also, I think she had one of the best superhero team-ups recently, where she teams up with Wolverine when he just recently lost his healing factor. Hello?
I heard you. I don't know if Jess is having some connection issues.
Yeah, he's frozen on my screen.
Uh-oh. That was a really fun team up because of the fact that she's such a fangirl. Like, and you can tell she's just starting out as a superhero because she's never met these characters, these people before, and she's all of a sudden meeting like Wolverine, one of the biggest heroes out there, and she's just enamored. Just holy crap! Like, I love you. You're Wolverine. You're the best. And like, he's just like fucking grumpy Wolverine, you know?
Did we lose Jess? Hello? Yeah, I think we lost him.
Uh-oh. Well, in the meantime, so I think one of the things that really helps with her finding her place in the Marvel Universe is the fact that, you know, we keep comparing her to Spider-Man. We say this generation Spider-Man. Peter's grown now, and there's a lot of people who they're kind of turned off by that because their Peter was the young teenage Peter, or they grew up with, you know, young 20s Peter. Whoever it was, he's not that person anymore. He's an adult now. And we really don't need him to be that teenage character anymore because we have a character like this. And she fills that place, that hole. Like she's come in and given us something that, as far as I can speak for, we haven't had in the Marvel Universe in a long time. As far as, you know, like a good, very character-oriented teenage book, you know, a young hero book like that. Most of the other young hero books focus more around the superhero aspect rather than the personal aspect of that character. So having her here, that's a lot of what makes her fill that hole that's left without Peter. And I know that you could argue, well, you know, Miles Morales did that as well. But Miles at this point has moved on from being more character-oriented and has turned into more of just a superhero-oriented book. And he has, you know, his friends are still there and his family's still there, but mostly he's too busy because he's busy appearing in all the different Spider-Man books, and he's busy appearing on the Champions and, you know, all these other titles. He doesn't have as much time now to just be a kid. Whereas Kamala still has that chance, and we're still watching her grow up. We're still watching her deal with, you know, having feelings for other people, you know, wanting to be friends with people, trying to succeed in school, all these different things. And now you're also being able to see her interact with, you know, they're putting her more in the Marvel Universe, and you're seeing her interact with these other kids that are close to her age, especially on a book like I've mentioned, The Champions, several times, where she's alongside all the other teenage characters. And as well, I think that she has interacted multiple times with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which is great because Moon Girl's even younger than she is. Mm-hmm. And in place of Jess, it looks like we've got Gabe crashing the party.
Oh no!
I have a shirt on. You know,
oh, thank God!
It's okay. It's still PG-13 over here.
So since we're sidetracked, we're gonna be sidetracked. Century Fallen Sun. Who's read it?
I have not.
Huh? Huh?
I haven't read it.
Oh, it's so terrible. Apparently, Rogue got her virginity taken away by Sentry. That's something that Gabe was talking about in the chat. But yeah, I agree, man. Peter is he's living his own life. He's a grown man. Okay. I know a lot of us are man children. It's time to let the boy grow up. We have other characters we can relate to now, and there's a whole slew of other characters that are coming up right now that we can relate to as well. And if we ever want to get in touch with our little child inside or something like that, that we have, you know, Miles is drifting off into becoming more of a superhero, like you pointed out, which, by the way, I'm so happy they retconned that whole situation with his mom after Secret Wars. That was pretty cool. But, oh, we got Jess back.
There's Jess.
Jess!
Yo, I'm back.
Yay! What's up, Jess?
Sorry.
A Mexican took your job, Jess.
God damn it. All the time it happens. All the time.
All right, I'll go back to selling oranges on the freeway.
Oh, man. I totally missed Gabe's appearance.
You totally?
Yeah, I jumped in because I saw Luis kind of bombed out, and then I know Jess, your computer crashed. So I was going to keep Riley comfortable, but then Luis made it back.
I never left. It was just that you don't see me on the stream unless I talk. It all flips.
That's weird. Usually I see your icon at least.
I think that's only if you get 3 people or more.
Ah, that might be it.
Yeah.
Either way. So chicken and waffles are amazing.
Nice. Describe it all.
Oh, it was great. It was like cinnamon in the waffles, and the place had Kool-Aid on tap.
Oh.
No, nobody go there. We're bigger than this. We are better than this.
It was really bad service, but the food was great. The restaurant used to be like a Tony Roma's, and I guess they took over the building, but it was awesome.
And you shredded the chicken and put it on top of the waffle?
Oh,
I shredded the chicken, put it on top of the waffles with some syrup, butter.
Nice.
And it's like 1,000 degrees in Vegas today. I don't know if it's drier, the heat in Vegas or the comics that have been coming out this month, because I haven't bought anything.
Damn.
Off of IST all month long. And nothing. Next week, Matt in the chat mentioned that the final Chew Smorgasbord is coming out.
It's a good ending. I've read the final issue. It's good.
And then I think the third Why the Last Man Absolute's coming out next week. So next week's going to be a good month.
Totally not worth your price. Yeah, well, at least the first Why. I can't comment on the second one, but the first Why, the Last Man, was not worth it.
Well, the absolutes aren't perfect at all. There's no back matter, but I don't have the regular hardcovers, so the absolutes are perfect for me.
Okay.
And then tomorrow is the Las Vegas convention, so hopefully I'll find a booth that has cheap ass omnibus like I did at MegaCon. So that's kind of my plan for this weekend, is to find some cheap omnibus at MegaCon.
So when I come to Vegas, we have not only great comic book store that you work at, Torpedo Comics.
Yep.
Not only do we have all the strip joints we can possibly go to, but we'll have chicken and waffles too.
And record stores.
And record stores.
Yes, it's going to be a good time when you come out.
And flights to Orlando and Las Vegas are cheap, so I should be able to do that.
Make it out, man. We'll have a good old time. We'll just spend the whole time. We'll just get chicken and waffles to go and eat them at the strip club.
Why not, man? You're like the mayor of Las Vegas. I'll just follow you around and do the Gabe tour of Las Vegas.
We'll get some comics, some chicken and waffles, take it to the strip club, eat, read some comics.
There you go. Don't forget.
Also, I found out, I'm not sure if it's still going on or if it just is on hiatus, but somebody told me about porn star karaoke is out here too.
Porn star karaoke.
Yes.
That's got to be on the agenda too. How can I miss that?
That sounds amazing. I was looking for it. They haven't done it in the last couple of months, so I hope they didn't like cancel it or move or stop doing it. But next time it comes around, I'm going to check that out. It sounds awesome.
God, Las Vegas is the greatest city ever. Porn star karaoke. That is great.
That sounds like an amazing idea, actually.
It does. Do you have topless car washes too?
We could probably find one.
Get my rental car washed.
I'll take you to get some tacos and stuff as well.
Oh man!
If you find a topless car wash, Jess will be the first person to ever wash a rental car. Is that true?
Sure.
Nobody washes a rental car before they turn it back in, right?
Every once in a while, you get someone will come in and be like, "Oh, I washed the car for you," and I'm like, "You do realize we wash the cars ourselves." Like, I appreciate that because now I didn't have to send it back to my service agent, but yeah, we wash it ourselves.
But if there's topless girls,
anything,
it's gonna happen.
Topless anything, I'm there.
I've never seen an actual topless car wash, but one time when I was in high school, my class did a fundraiser car wash, and I remember one of the girls being the stereotypical you know, I'm gonna rub my body all over the car, and I thought it was super awkward, especially in retrospect, given that we were in high school.
Yeah, somebody could have gone to jail that day.
The even worse part was the fact that she was rubbing herself on my dad's car.
Did you turn on your windshield wipers?
I was outside of the car, and I was like, that's my dad's car.
I don't think that's proper scrubbing technique.
Oh, man. But depending on when you come out here, Jess, we'll have you probably won't care, but we're going to have the Raiders pretty soon, and recreational marijuana.
Oh yeah, and you've got a hockey team now too.
Yeah, we got a hockey team. So Vegas is the place to be if you want to do bad things or awesome, fun things, however you want to look at it that way.
Wait, you have recreational marijuana there now?
It's been voted in, but it's just they're waiting for like the stores or the dispensaries to kind of get through all the red tape.
How much is a plane trip to Vegas?
I don't know. They're cheap and crowded, so I know that I can. And they got In-N-Out Burger there.
Yes, that's right. I'll take you to the In-N-Out where you can buy T-shirts and jackets and stuff.
Nice. Man, you're making a good case. Making a solid case to come out there.
It'll be a good time.
I love the comment you made the other day about my getting the Neil Adams Omnibus signed by him, and you said while he had it, he could recolor it too.
Well, he's gonna charge you $200 for a sketch. You might as well get it recolored. Holy shit, dude! $200. I mean, it's Neil Adams, like you said. I get it. It's Neil Adams. But fuck, $200 for a sketch in an omnibus.
Yeah, no,
You can get a really good like SpiderMan or Fantastic Four like Silver Age book with that kind of money.
Oh, for $200.
Yeah. That's exactly
For
right.
For $200, I want that shit colored.
A colored sketch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go charge more if he doesn't treat you like a piece of shit.
Well, Darwin Cook used to charge about $400, $500. We talked about this, Jess, on the news. He charged about $400, $500 for, but the sketches were worth it. Like they were massive. Like you would take a canvas-sized paper. That's what he did, and he worked on it overnight. And the one that I saw was he did a bombshell and it looked phenomenal.
Yeah, he didn't just scribble in your book. He did a massive masterpiece. I can see paying $400 or $500 for something like that. You want to hang it up and frame it and stuff.
Yeah, this was poster size. What he did.
Wow.
I mean, I have $100 Derek Robertson Thor commission, which is beautiful. It's $100, and I have a free Batman sketch from Jim Lee, which is amazing looking, and I got it for free.
How'd you get that?
He came out to Vegas to do a signing at a store like 12 years ago, and I just asked him.
Wow.
He was like, "Shoot." And it's fucking badass. I actually have it right here. Let's see.
We have completely fallen off the rails. So yeah, Kamala Kahn. Okay, Miss Marvel. If you want to read Miss Marvel, somebody was asking in the chat. If you want to read Miss Marvel, the best way, in my opinion, to read Miss Marvel, we'll get back to that real quick, is this omnibus. I personally think this is the best and easiest way to read all of her story. You can get the trades and the other hardcovers, but I say go the route of the omnibus. You get everything leading up to Secret Wars until Marvel decided to reboot everything. There you go. That's what I got.
I haven't upgraded. I have no idea what you've been talking about for the past 10 minutes. So I like that Batman drawing. Yeah, just sec. Oh, look at that thing. Wow, he even personalized it and everything.
Yep. Take that, $200 Neil Adams. This is what it looks like when you're relevant still.
Hoo-ah.
I really am curious. What does the $200 Neil Adams sketch consist of? Does it like consist of a hug, maybe a handshake in there as well?
He spits in your face, probably.
I just bought like the $20 Neil Adams prints, and they each came with a handshake. So,
oh, that's cool.
That was nice.
It's great that he thought of you.
I got.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna take off, guys. This is your guys' show. I don't want to butt in too much longer.
It's cool.
But I will say this, with the new channel, it seems like we have less trolls mixed into like the chat and the thumbs up and stuff.
Yeah, that's
good.
That's my fault. Sorry.
Nice.
I think it's the first time we haven't had a thumbs down within like the first 2 minutes of the show.
That's my fault. There were 3 thumbs down for the channel trailer. I'm like, really? What the fuck? The channel trailer? I'm only in the motherfucker for like 10 seconds.
Fucking people are petty, dude. That's funny.
God damn.
They gave you thumbs down?
I got 3 thumbs down. Last time I checked, it was like 3 thumbs down for a 2-minute fucking trailer. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not in the damn thing, barely.
Maybe that's why they gave it a thumbs down. Maybe they wanted more of you.
I don't know. I don't care anymore. I just laugh at it at this point, man. So are we good? Can we move on to questions?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, I know we probably had a couple of Miss Marvel questions that we didn't answer, but if anyone has any questions about anything, just go ahead and shout out, and for the next 15 minutes or so, we can do that.
Relationship advice? We're here. We're 3 taken men. I've gotten a lot of feedback from that Love episode. A lot of people really dug that.
Did they really?
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback from people messaging saying, hey, thanks for answering my question. I love the episode.
Wow.
Need to do that again next year.
If they hate you enough to click dislike, they're still watching.
That's very true.
Miss Marvel only has 3 oversized hardcovers at this moment. The first 2 are in the first omnibus, and the third one will be in an eventual second omnibus, which has not been teased as of yet or announced as of yet.
Because the third hardcover came out, right? That's out?
Yeah, that's the one that Jess has.
What is it called?
That's this one.
It's post-Secret War stuff, right, Jess?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the new, it's 1 through 12 from 2015. And it says the world almost ended. I may read this tonight because I want to see what happens. It left on a cliffhanger of the world almost ending, which I assume was Secret Wars related.
Yeah, that was the incursion happening that actually led to Secret Wars starting.
Mm-hmm.
So it might not, I don't remember if it actually like
resolves itself.
Yeah, because it's not really Kamala's storyline per se. It's the Marvel Universe's storyline as a whole.
Okay. So it did have to do with Secret Wars, which I haven't read yet. So I'll just, like I do with all Marvel stuff, I'll just assume such and such happened and go on.
Yes.
Okay.
So Gio is asking us how we feel about Kamala from an editorial standpoint taking the mantle of Miss Marvel from Carol, because he remembers that some fanboys were angry about that. Do y'all have any insightful comments?
I think it's ridiculous.
That they would be upset?
Yeah, I think it just shows the narrow-mindedness of people and the opportunity to vent on the internet about absolutely nothing. I think it's an interesting take on an interesting character, and if you don't like it, don't read it. You know, it's there for. It's not like it's poorly written or some slapdash piece of junk. It's really, really good, and if you can't get behind a really good comic book because of your prejudices, you probably don't deserve the book. So skip it and go read your Aryan white supremacist comics that you like.
No, I agree. I think it's also something that we talked about even earlier on in this show, where a lot of comic fanboys, they don't like change. They don't like characters taking over other characters or taking over the mantle. And 2, I guess to a small extent, I get it, because there is something to be said, like I said, for diversity, for just having diversity, rather than it actually working out and fitting in the story. But I think Marvel's actually done a pretty good job of overall making that transition for a lot of their characters. But at this point, I just want a good story. I don't care. Like, they can announce tomorrow that Captain America, there's a new Captain America, and it's by a Chinese guy who's using a rickshaw. If the story is good, then I'll be perfectly fine. I don't care.
Well, Superman's got a run where it's the Superman from China, and he's got that's supposed to be well written. They got a Chinese Batman and a Chinese Wonder Woman, and it's by Jin Lung Ha or whatever his name is, and it's supposed to be really good. So, I mean, if it's an organically well-written story, who cares? It's a good story. I mean, you're right. We want good stories. So it's pushing outward. It's expanding the universe. It's becoming more inclusive. And I don't care. Gay, straight, Pakistan, white, whatever, just as long as it's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't care about the title change. I mean, it's something that you figure Marvel was going to want to fill that gap for that character with something, since they promoted Carol. And I thought it was very well handled. Like, they could have chosen a younger character, or I mean, an existing character to do it, but they chose to create someone new. They had an idea in mind that, editorial wanted to use and create a character like this to do something different on the stands, to be representative of another group of people, and it worked. They did it well. They handled it well. They don't always handle things like that well, but in this case they did. And it wound up being a really positive reading experience, and a really positive character that was created.
What about I haven't kept up with any modern stuff, as you know. So what about Riri, what's her name, as Iron Man?
Nothing out of the ordinary has happened with her. She's basically, that series has Riri Williams is chosen to take on the mantle because she's a young genius of engineering. She created her own armor basically with scraps, the same way that Tony Stark did. And so he kind of chooses her, but Tony, spoilers, is kind of not there. He has this AI of himself that is guiding her, kind of as her own version of Pepper. And so she goes on her own adventures and does stuff alongside with Tony, and calls herself Ironheart. So she's not Iron Man at all. She's called Ironheart. She just occupies a book that's called Iron Man. Got it.
And it's done. It's done organically, so that the whole story makes sense, and it's a good read, and she's an interesting character. It's not like they just said, we have to make Iron Man black, just stick it in there. It all makes cohesive sense.
More or less. I'm trying to think about where everything happened, because it's one of the books that came out of Civil War II. So it kind of like the first Bendis Iron Man book, Invincible Iron Man, and then International Iron Man, those two books kind of lead in a way into Civil War II and like where Iron Man goes from there. And they introduce Riri Williams in those earlier issues. And then after Civil War II is when she becomes, Ironheart. And the book doesn't start with her all of a sudden just being like, cool, I've got rocket shoes and beams out of my head. Like, she goes into that role. She kind of adopts that role, and she meets with different people who help her out to become that character. So it is kind of organic. She does work into it. It's kind of the same way that, it reads the same way that the early Miles Morales issues of Spider-Man did. but with more outside interference from other heroes. So I mean, it's a good book. It's not my favorite book on the stands right now, but I don't think that Marvel handled that character badly. And I do hope that once Tony's back, because he'll be back, I hope that they continue to use her, because she's an interesting character.
So overall, you enjoyed it. So you recommend it? Because that was a series I was kind of looking at diving into soon. I'm almost reading no Marvel right now, which was something that I was talking to Tyler about the other day when we were looking for comics. We were both like, yeah, we're not reading almost any Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like with that one, if you're not already reading, because I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum, I'm reading all of the Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not already reading it on a monthly basis, I feel like it might be worth waiting and seeing if it's going to have a good conclusion, because that's the weakest thing about a lot of Bendis' stuff, is that he kind of just spins his own gears and like things happen and there's not a big conclusion to the run. It just kind of happens. And that's what happened with his Avengers stuff. That's what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. Hopefully it doesn't happen here. But it could. It might.
Okay.
Somebody's asking about the reading order for the Hickman's Avengers Omnibus. How do we think it's going to be set up? I'm hoping it goes in the reading order that it's supposed to go in, because New Avengers and Avengers, they cross over a lot.
I'm pretty sure it will, just because of the fact that they paid so much attention to that sized hardcover for the Infinity one in particular.
I'm hoping they don't Spider-Verse this one.
The Spider-Verse wasn't bad. The one that was bad is Clone Conspiracy. Because Spider-Verse was one that you can read it as separate stories if you want to. It's like War of Kings. You know, I explained that one. It's separated, but you can read it that way, or you can read it together, however you want to. But Clone Conspiracy it's a literal crossover, just like how Infinity was, where like you have to read it in that order, or else it doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, you're going to be flipping back and forth. And the Clone Conspiracy one is just a fucking mess. It's just you, and they give you, and I got mad about it. I explained it to you guys before. Like, they give you a map in the beginning, and they say like, "Oh, this is the way that you're supposed to read it," but fuck you.
So the Omni that is coming out for Kirby's is the beginning of his 4th world run.
It's his entire 4th world run.
1,500 pages, which is the largest Omni produced. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that matches it or is bigger than it in size, but I know that the Invisibles is close, so I'm expecting it to be close to the size of the Invisibles omnibus.
What was Thor Simonson?
It's like 1,200.
Colossal Conan? Do we count that as an omnibus?
I don't have it, so I don't know.
Because Colossal Conan was to the point where it was unwieldy.
Yeah, I'm afraid to read it.
It's too much. I'm glad they released the omnibuses, the trades. They're releasing those now.
Colossal Conan was also a larger size too. It wasn't just Colossal Conan was at only 1264.
So this
really?
Fuck. I might pass on this then.
On what?
If it's that big, I might pass on the 4th world. I don't know yet. I hate books that are that bunch.
That are that big?
Yeah, 1,500 pages. That could have easily been split.
For me personally, the bigger they are, the more I like it. If you could make like a 2,000+ page book without it just being awkward looking, and probably the block tearing away from the covers, then I'd go for it.
That's why you are the omnibus collector.
Invisibles is slightly bigger. It's 1,536.
Let me see what the actual exact page count is on. The thing is that it's way more expensive though, because Invisibles had a cover price of $100 if I remember correctly, whereas Fourth World is $150. This one's also 1536, so I guess that they're the same size.
Not available on History, so it's kind of a buzz.
Ooh, cookies.
Whoa, lucky you.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that book, particularly because not only it's the whole Fourth World, and I haven't read any of it, but it's praised quite a bit, and it's just a whole huge 1,500 pages worth of Jack Kirby artwork. But also the 4 standard-sized hardcover omnibus that were released by DC years ago, they're pretty much all very expensive and hard to find. And even if you were just going by their cover price together is $200 as opposed to the $150 cover price here for an oversized volume. So in my book, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I'll be buying it for sure. Wait, you're having Gatorade with cookies? I thought you were having milk with your cookies.
That's what she brought me.
Oh, well, I guess you can't argue when somebody brings you something.
I gotta replenish my electrolytes, yo. But I know the question we had earlier was if we think anything is going to go out of print within really quickly for releases the next 6 months. I don't know anything off the top of my head that I would say is probably going to be quick to sell out though.
What's coming out?
We've
done a few good big things already. Planet Hulk will be a big one, but I don't think it'll sell out anytime quick.
No, I don't think that Planet Hulk or World War Hulk are going to sell out at all. Because the Hulk just does not sell omnibus very well.
Even Planet Hulk? That's a pretty popular story.
It is. He still doesn't sell.
Okay.
Yeah. That sure is a great story.
I'm trying to see what else.
I don't see anything like flying off the shelves in the next few months. Punisher Ennis is going to be popular, but that's not going to sell out like that.
Muppet Babies omnibus.
Speaking of omnis, should I get the Swamp Thing bronze omni? Says a week in geekdom, and the answer is yes. That is the beginning and origins and great stories of Swamp Thing. Those are the books that I gobbled up in my teenage years. So yes, definitely get Bronze Age Swamp Thing. That's one of the few Bronze Age omnis that I'm getting. I'm not into much Bronze Age stuff, but I'm definitely into Bronze Age Swamp Thing.
Which will eventually lead into the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run, where he pretty much undoes everything that Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson did. That's got to get collected soon. It has to.
Yeah, that Bronze Age goes right up. Like, I think it was solicited originally as containing everything except for the issue right before Alan Moore started. And I'm thinking that they went back and edited that and added that issue in there because that would just not make any sense. So it's going to be an awesome book for anyone who's read the Alan Moore run and wants to see, the origins of that character and where he came from, because this book is going to have everything that you would need.
Yeah, that's one of the books I'm really excited for.
Why is House of M No More Mutants so pricey? Does something important happen in it? Riley?
It's out of print. It's been out for a while. It's an oversized hardcover that's been out for a long time. It collects issues of... What does it have in it? I think it has... Let me see exactly. I know it has issues of New X-Men. It also has Exiles, Mutopia X, and a couple other things. So it's just a lot of the X-Men tie-in issues, and there's a lot of people who are huge X-Men completionists like myself who try to get everything mutant related in hardcover that they can, and this is just another one of those books. Also, House of M is a really, really, really well-received event, and many of its tie-ins are well-received as well. So it's a, it's a small set of books that really is just a positive thing to have on the shelf. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could say about it, but what's the price? There's one on Amazon right now for $34, which I think is just a few dollars over cover, like new. So it's not terrible. You can find it.
House of M was such a good event. Oh. When Scarlet Witch says no more mutants, I still remember reading that going, what?
Wait, she does what?
You never heard House of M?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Oh, speaking of the new X-Men, I forgot about these books that I got. I would have shown these off before, but we didn't do the show. I was at Half Price Books like a week or two ago, and I saw these and I passed up on them initially, and then I was thinking and I was like, damn it, I really need to go get those because those are kind of rare. They had the Chris Yost and Craig Kyle New Mutants Childhood's End run, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 5. So I just have to find volume 4. But these are decently hard to find, and I got this whole set, like the 4 books, for I think it was like $15 each.
Wow.
Slightly above cover. Like a few dollars above cover. So I was very excited to find these. Of course, a few days after I get these, we see the solicit on Amazon for complete collections of not this book, but there was, before Kyle and Yost took over, there was Nunzio De Filippis is the writer. And before he started this new X-Men series, he was writing the New Mutants Volume 2. And only the first half of that was ever collected. But they released a solicit for the for the entire series, that entire 12-issue series, as a complete collection. And so I was sitting there like, okay, with my luck, that's going to happen. And then they're going to do his run on New X-Men, and then they'll do a complete collection of the Childhood's End stuff, and I will have bought this for nothing. But that's just how the world works, right?
Yeah.
Did you read Batman 25, Riley?
No, I haven't read barely anything from last week.
Okay.
I've been.
This hasn't read 24, so he doesn't know the cliffhanger of it yet.
Yeah, I don't know either, so don't talk about it for 6 months.
What'd you think? Just in a general sense, what did you think? Without mentioning too much.
Me, I don't know which issue we're talking. Oh, are you talking
24.
about where something happens with another character?
At the end of it, yeah, 24.
I don't know. I thought that it's probably not going to end well.
Nope.
So yeah, especially given like the next arc, what the next arc is going to be dealing with. I was like, yeah, something bad's going to happen.
Man, I've heard really good things of War of Jokes and Riddles already.
Yeah, I need to read the issue, but yeah, I haven't done anything this week or barely anything from last week, which sucks. I usually read most of my single issues during my lunch breaks, and I haven't had any lunch breaks this week because we've been understaffed, and so I've just been taking working lunches at my desk.
Ooh. Bastards!
Yeah, it sucks. But this week, or this coming week, should be better. I think we're getting a new hire, and I will train him to do everything that I don't want to do.
That's how you do it when you're the boss.
Hey.
Here's a question about Doom Patrol Silver Age. It just says, what about it? So if the question is, if it's going out of print, the answer is no. But if you should get it, the answer is yes, because DC did us a solid favor by releasing Doom Patrol back when they even did it. There's such oddball characters getting into so many weird situations. I can't even believe that Doom Patrol existed back in the 60s, that they would put something that groundbreaking out. So if you want to have fun, odd superheroes in doing wacky things, it's a great book. I loved I loved Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, but I really, really loved the original Silver Age Doom Patrol. Those are some of the most interesting things you could read back in that time period.
I forgot to mention, I also picked up the first trade of Doom Patrol by Gerard Way from Young Animal, or whatever his imprint is now. I heard good things. I heard the art is gorgeous. I haven't looked at it yet, though.
The art is gorgeous.
It's a lot of fun. It's like he's finally doing what he's wanted to do in comics. Because I'm pretty sure that Morrison, I know Morrison's his favorite writer, but I'm pretty sure that his favorite art or work by Morrison is Doom Patrol. And that's kind of like the sort of type of story he wanted to tell with Umbrella Academy.
Oh, he's perfect for it, yeah.
Like, you can tell he was doing kind of an XMen Doom Patrol type book over there. And now he's finally getting the chance to actually do that. So it's really him being able to fulfill his dream of writing his favorite book.
Yeah. For those of you that have never read Umbrella Academy, do yourself a favor and go out there and read it. It's phenomenal. Yeah. He kind of broke the stereotype, because there was a lot of people out there that were saying, oh, you mean the like emo guy from My Chemical Romance is doing comics? And then when everybody started reading Umbrella Academy, everybody's like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah, I love that series.
I think the second arc is even better than the first one. That whole situation involving the time travel and, the characters, and I don't want to give away anything, but there's a moment, there's a page turn where one of the characters go, I heard a rumor. I went, oh shit! And then bam.
Yeah, I need to reread that, and I really hope that he gets back to it, because I know there was supposed to be a third story.
He's working on it.
Yeah, I hope it happens soon, because it's been a while. That Umbrella Academy Part 3, as well as Sea Guy Part 3, are like two of my most wanted books right now.
Yeah, he's working on Part 3. He's posted pencils and sketches of stuff that they're working on right now. So it's in the process, and he's got the script and the general idea pretty much written out. I think it's called Hotel Armageddon, Hotel something. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I don't remember what it's called, but it's Hotel something. But I think I'm gonna call this one, guys, because I gotta get up and get out of here. But I think we achieved what we were looking for this week. We did a lot of talk about Ms. Marvel. I realized that I bought way too many books this past 3 weeks. And yeah, that's a good show in my opinion.
I agree.
So, as always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in on our new channel for the first episode of what is being called Season 2. We'll be back next week to talk about more stuff. I'm still hoping that we do a manga episode, because that's what I had gotten ready for. And yeah, do y'all have anything else to say before we sign off?
You can find me on YouTube on OmniDog's Vault, and you can that's OmniDog's Vault on YouTube, and you can also find me on Riley's Facebook page, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community. Woo! Nailed it.
In the week?
That TV turn on automatically. It does that sometimes.
Ghosts.
No, it's got a timer in it. You can find me at Hardcover Reviews You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/hardcoverreviews, twitter.com/hardcoverreview, and patreon.com/hardcoverreviews. Everybody has a Patreon right now. I know it's annoying, and I know everybody's pimping theirs out, but we got some good stuff on there right now. Me and Jess this past week on the news show, we just talked about Adam West, and it was a fun show. We had a real good time this week on the news show. I think it was one of our better episodes, too. And there's a whole bunch of other content on there.
Yeah. What he said.
And a soothing recommendation from him.
And of course, you can find me on, well, you won't find anything on my channel anymore. I guess I should, like, start actually doing something on there now that I won't have these videos on there anymore. I should
You have to work.
Yeah, I have to do something. I've organized my comic books like twice in the past day, like reorganized my shelves because I wanted to do. I've shown you guys the cosmic shelf with my Guardians up there, and I made a Jim Starlin cosmic shelf to go next to it, and then I also today set up a SpiderMan shelf right here that has just all of my SpiderMan stuff. And so I want to do more stuff like that. And one of the things I really want to do is get an entire new Billy shelf just for my X-Men stuff. Because I have enough X-Men material that I would fill probably 4 shelves on a Billy shelf. And
Wow.
then the other 2 for my X-Men Legends action figures. So I'd make a really, really nice setup. So hopefully, since, like I mentioned earlier in the show, my birthday is on Tuesday. It's on the 4th of July. Go America. I hope that I get a little bit of money that I can buy a new shelf, invest in one of those. So hopefully.
Nice. Nice.
Also, guys, check out some of the other videos that we have on here if you are checking this channel out. Gabe and Gio spent a lot of time uploading a lot of the old video. Literally every single thing from the pilot, I guess you would call it that, from when me and Riley first did a show, all the way till this episode is archived on this channel now. So check that out.
Do very much check that out.
Very much so.
I might secretly be Captain America.
You might.
I get it, because I was born on the 4th of July.
You're the most American out of all of us, Riley.
No, so there's a legend behind this. So in 1776 they birthed Uncle Sam, right? So like every 100 years there's a new Uncle Sam. 1776, 1876, 1976. But then something happened, and in 1990 the 3rd Uncle Sam inexplicably died. So they had to rebirth Uncle Sam again, and that's when I came, in 1990. July 4th. I am the 4th coming of Uncle Sam. But because they didn't make it to the next century, and the first one was so young, they didn't have the ability to, like the rebirth stasis type thing that Superman had in Death of Superman, and like the Eradicator came out. It's kind of like that. Like I'm the Eradicator.
Legend says that Riley doesn't bleed red. He bleeds red, white, and blue.
It's true. But anyway, yeah, that's the legend, and you guys can sleep on that tonight. And next time I see you guys, I will be. No, next time I will not be 27 yet. I'll be 27 in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Everyone.
America,
fuck yeah.
America.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
And if you want more amusing this, you can chill on my Patreon. Let's go ahead and close this one out, guys.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a friend.
You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being. Hey, Golden Girls was my shit back in the day, man.
I'm not wearing my Golden Girls shirt today, though.
You know there's a Golden Girls convention?
You know there's a Golden Girls restaurant?
No.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, I think it's in New York, is what my wife said.
This is my trip to Mecca. I have to make this pilgrimage. Oh my God, I'm gonna make this pilgrimage dressed as one of the Golden Girls. I fucking love Golden Girls.
If I'm remembering correctly, because my wife told me about it, it's called Rue's Place, like after the actress Rue. Was it McClanahan?
Rue McClanahan?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the.
Jess, did you ever see Golden Girls?
I have to admit, no. It was on when I was in college, and so I never watched any TV in college.
Oh my God, it's one of America's greatest pastimes.
I know. Raleigh Smith almost stopped talking to me when he found out I never watched Golden Girls.
It's phenomenal.
It's on Hulu right now. You can go watch like all the episodes.
It's on Hulu. You know what? I was about to buy a Hulu subscription and watch Handmaid's Tale, but now for sure I will for Golden Girls.
It's so good. It's all on there. It's like 150 episodes or something. It's awesome.
God, it's phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. I'm a loser.
Yeah, you haven't seen anything, Jess.
I haven't. I suck. That's another reason I suck.
Let's get out of here. Let's watch some Golden Girls. Let's call it a night.
I really am just about to send you those Apes films because I just upgraded to the 4K versions. I really am just going to send you them.
Okay.
You don't have them?
What's that?
You don't have them?
No.
Okay, I think I'll just send you them because I'm not going to do anything with them. I have the 4K.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the, as per Gio, this is the after credits scene.
Thank you for being. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop the broadcast now. Good night, everybody.